Okay then, this brings us to part 2. We're going to look at Kohlberg stages of moral development, and a little bit later, Carol Gilligan's stages of ethical care. Lawrence Kohlberg, here's Larry, that's him, that's exactly what he looks like. He came up with some theories of moral development after spending 20 years of researching the moral development of children. He looked at different cultures throughout the world and looked at children at different stages. But instead of looking at behavior, his qualitative research looked to find the reasoning or motivation behind these behaviors. So he asked a lot of questions of students and was recording responses. Now, he discovered moral sensitivity to be a characteristic found in all human beings that develops through 6 stages. These stages or levels are hierarchical. However, nobody responds to any one stage or from any one stage all the time. Again, theories, and this is a theory, are used to help us understand behavior, but not to predict behavior. And Kohlberg's research, while flawed, and everyone admits it is flawed, for one thing, he only interviewed male subjects, and you will get a sense that this is very patriarchal reasoning, especially when you compare it to Gilligan, who is to be coming. Everyone agrees that it is flawed, but it can be used to help us understand. The first stage, punishment, right and wrong, is determined by what will help you avoid punishment. Morality is under external control here. This is the stage where mommy or daddy spank you if you do that, so you are engaging in an act solely to avoid punishment. Right and wrong is determined by what will help them avoid aversive conditioners or bad circumstances. However, as we will learn in behavioral learning theory, when the punishment disappears, the behavior reappears. Level 2, this is still in the pre-conventional moral reasoning stage. Moral reasoning is based on what will give you the greatest reward. Your actions are determined by a desire to gain. Morality is still under control here. If you're good, mommy or daddy will give you a cookie. So you are behaving in a way only in order to gain some sort of reward. Conventional reasoning at this stage. Level 3, social approval. Right and wrong is based on getting the approval of others, or social conformity. This is the good boy, good girl stage, and this is where adolescents are at predominantly. Right and wrong is based on peer approval, or having someone else, what they say is right or wrong. The thing here, morality is still under external control. People are behaving in a certain way to get the approval of others. It's outside self. Conventional moral reasoning, right and wrong is determined by what the law says. These are the rules, therefore it is right. Morality here is still externally dependent because some rule is the ultimate authority. And as we have seen with our Constitution and our laws, they continue to change and evolve. So saying right and wrong is based on what this says, that still is having a sense of morality that is externally dependent. Post-conventional moral reasoning, all right, this is at the higher level, the beginning of autonomous thought. We make a contract. We say, yes, I don't agree with this law, but I know in order to preserve social order, I realize that I'm going to have to abide by this law or set of rules. I don't agree with it, but I see where it is right and good to maintain social order or control. All right? So your motivation and your actions are done to preserve social order. You don't necessarily agree, but you want order. And the highest level, right and wrong, is determined, your actions, your behaviors, is determined by universal truth. Right action is determined by your conscious or consciousness in accordance with a universal set of principles. Universal principles, then, are those that accord honor and dignity to all of these things. Now, the thing is, people who act at this level consistently tend to get assassinated or crucified or expelled from society. And I'm thinking of Malcolm X, who came back from his trip to the Middle East with a totally changed view, but they didn't like that. That disrupted the consciousness of the group, and he was assassinated. Abraham Lincoln is another example. People that act at this level tend not to be embraced by the majority of people in a group or society. Okay, end part 2.